you have been involved with Elijah Family Homes from like the very beginning, and you are actually one of the last founding members that we had significantly involved up until this last December. When you originally started this in 2005 with Barb Pugh, why were you guys doing this? What was your goal?
Well, it got motivated actually by Barb. She was taking a class through Christ the King called Just Faith, and in that class they were looking at border crossings of how do middle class and upper class people relate to poor folks, and how can we be more loving and supportive. And so they invited me to come and bring some women that I was working with through a program that was called Safe Babies, Safe Moms, which is Elijah Family Homes TCAP program. And so I brought these young women to share what was going on in their lives. And what was surprising to all of the people that listened to them was just how, they were not that much different than their own granddaughters or daughters or friends of family or whatever, but that they had gotten involved in doing some drugs, but they were very likable people. They were all clean and sober folks for a few months at least. And when at the end of the questioning, they asked them, what is your most critical need? And they said, we can't find housing, get our kids back, or to just live a normal life. And so after this event happened, Barb was thinking about it and praying about it, and it just came to her that she wanted to start a program for housing for women who were in recovery. And then we expanded it to families. She asked if I would join her, and we gathered a couple of people from that original group that had listened to these young women. And then I also found a couple of my clients who were also part of the conversation. So we were meeting for several months trying to talk about what would it look like. And Barb was very active in going and looking at other programs. And so one of the things that we decided was that many programs were a year long, and that was way too short, and that's why we decided to start our program for housing for at least 3 years, because getting your life together in a year is difficult.
At the very beginning, you were with Safe Babies, Safe Moms.
Right.
In the beginning stages, what were some of those really big challenges?
We didn't have staff, and so we were all a volunteer board and a volunteer people who were working with the clients. We were pretty small with just a couple of families. I mean, we started with one family and 2 women who were living in a house together with their children, and kind of how to support them in maintaining their sobriety. With the house in which the 2 women were living together with their children, there was some relapse that happened. And that was really difficult. And so, we weren't used to having to do urinalysis and all of that. And so, I remember taking this one client to somewhere to have her do that. And, I'm not somebody who goes into the bathroom with them, whereas in many substance abuse programs, there's somebody who stands there and watches you urinate. So that was a challenge.
Not exactly sure you were signing up for that in the beginning.
Right. Because and I was working full time at the time, so I was continuing to do my job at Safe Babies, Safe Moms, and then doing this on the side, and it was more challenging. I was familiar with recovery, whereas many of our people were not, and so that was a big thing, was trying to help them understand how they were blown away with one family that we had who never knew about putting sheets on a bed, so that they would just sleep right on the mattress. This couple had been on the streets for many years. There were these things that people didn't know about. When you were raised by people who were substance abusers, and then you became a substance abuser and you're trying to get clean and sober, there's so much you don't know.
Oh, yeah. So I have to ask, when you started with the Safe Babies, Safe Moms, you guys started Elijah Family Homes, a big thing we talk about now is like the generational changes that we're making with our program. Was that something that was front of mind from the beginning in terms of knowing that several generations away, ideally you would have families that were no longer...
That was our hope. That's partly why you do family. Now we get to see it, that there are a couple of people who spent the 3 years in one of our homes, and their kids have reached out to us and they're working. It may take several generations.
Oh, yeah. What kind of like we talked about before, you resigned from the board as of December of last year. We greatly miss you. If you want to come back, the offer's open.
Thank you. I am still on some of the committees.
That is true, yes. So we still get your expertise, which is highly valuable. Going forward, I mean, what do you hope and foresee for us as an organization?
Getting more housing. Homelessness is a huge issue, and especially with the economy as it is right now, the amount of poverty that's out there, and alcoholism and drug addiction is a huge problem in our community, and bigger than I think people are aware of. And we're hearing more and more about overdoses and all of that. So it's becoming even more dangerous than it ever was.
Well, for someone that's interested in getting involved with Elijah Family Homes and being able to be impactful in how they give, whether, time, talent, treasure, what would your advice be to that individual?
I think getting involved in Elijah Family Homes is a great thing to do. And everybody has different gifts. There's huge need for support around fundraising and setting up events. Every event is very time consuming and difficult to put together, and being involved in that way. At one point, we were working towards having community mentors with our clients. That's been more difficult to make that happen, but I think that that's something that's still out there that we're hoping that people will do. These clients, they really benefit from getting to know people who maybe have never had a drug or alcohol problem, what life is like. Once we get that mentorship program going, I think that will be a really exciting thing for people to get involved in. But there's a lot of different things that need to be done at Elijah Family Homes. And joining the board.
Yes, we do need more board members, right? We have a seat open.
Yes.
Gonna keep hinting at that.